What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about Fortnite's new Chapter 7 Season 2 update. As always, if you guys do find this video to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like some more, comment down below what you think of this season, and if you guys would like to use my code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolvedJake, just like my channel name is, and it is underneath the webcam at all times. So the biggest change with this season is going to be the loot pool. It was previously teased that this is going to be mostly different from Season 1, and that did hold true, but there are a few returning items. Most notably, the Iron Pump and the Twin Hammer shotguns are both in the loot pool still. A majority, if not all, of the healing items have returned, porta bunkers have returned, and shield bubbles have returned. For the new ARs, we have the Nemesis and combat ARs from Chapter 5, but these weapons have been reworked. They are now hit scan. And they're not moddable, so you can't bring them to the mod benches or anything. I think both of them have grips on that don't really affect too much. And neither of them have a sight. So these are both going to be third-person bloom weapons. As far as weapons with a sight go, there is a new Vector DMR, which is very powerful. I think it hits for like 60 to 70 to the body, depending on rarity, and like 120 to 130 to the head, depending on rarity. So this DMR hits pretty hard, but it is projectile, meaning there is bullet travel time to account for, especially when an enemy is like very far away or using some form of mobility. This is going to be something that you're going to have to play around. For SMGs, we have the Thunderburst SMG from Chapter 5 and the Twin Mag SMG. Like the ARs, the Thunderburst is now hit scan, so there's no bullet drop, no bullet travel time, and it does come with a laser attachment. This is a third-person weapon, but when you aim in, it will have no bloom at all because of this laser attachment. It is perfectly accurate, and its hip fire is basically perfectly accurate as well. So I think a lot of people are really going to like the Thunderburst as they did in Chapter 5. There is a new Chaos Reloader shotgun, which if you guys played during last year's Star Wars season, functions very similar to the Jawa shotgun. It fires one shot, it hits very hard even to the body, and then it needs to be reloaded after that one shot. But like the Jawa, you don't actually need to have it out. It reloads it on its own, similar to the Star Wars weapons when they overheated. So you can shoot the shotgun once, swap to another item or build if you're playing build mode, and then come back to it later on, and it will be reloaded if enough time has passed. And I think a majority of people are probably going to prefer this shotgun. It is very powerful, and it's something that can completely turn a fight in an instant. You can think you're winning a fight, and then the enemy could just hit a very hard shot with this shotgun and completely stop you in your tracks. The Chapter 2 pistol is back as well. This is just basically a fully automatic pistol. It is very good. This probably is going to be one of the most underrated weapons this season, especially if you get a high rarity of this pistol. It can absolutely shred. For mobility, we have new overdrive grenades. These are like more tame shockwaves. They don't send you as high or as far as shockwave grenades did. And then you also can't break through structures. But after you use one, you will get unlimited sprint for a period of time. You also move faster and get like a kind of floaty jump. It isn't quite as floaty as like flowberries are, but this jump is better than the regular jump, and you get the slap effect, as I said. And they're just, like I said, they're more tame shocks. You don't break things, you don't go as far, but you get that improved sprint afterwards as like kind of a bonus. These do negate fall damage. I've seen people like kind of confused about that. I myself was, because I saw people saying it didn't. But it does seem to negate fall damage. And then we also have a new zipline launcher. This is the item that was previously teased to be able to kind of move an entire team. You shoot out a zipline and then start riding it. And once you jump off the zipline, you have the ability to redeploy your glider. So this is going to be decent travel mobility, especially when you shoot it up into the sky and get high up and then glide around. But you are very vulnerable being on the zipline, and you are also very vulnerable gliding. So this is going to be a very high risk item to use, but at times it can be helpful. We've had ziplines in Fortnite for a long time, and I'm sure we've all had fights around them. And you know that like if an enemy is using a zipline, they are very, very, very vulnerable. And the same is going to be true with this new zipline launcher. So those are the main mobility items we have at the moment. There will be more coming later down the line, which we'll kind of get to in a moment. Chug Splash are also back in the loot pool. They're unvaulted, and there are several more fish items as well. The Vendetta Flopper will mark nearby enemies, and the Spicy Fish will give you a boost to your movement speed, like the pepper effect that we've had several times. And there may be more fish as well, but these are the ones that I really saw. And the Vendetta Floppers are going to be helpful for the new Rivalry system. The rivalry system is kind of the main kind of mechanic of this season, or something that you're really going to be playing around. And it's very similar to how bounties were in the past. So you can get a rivalry, and then you will have a bounty on another player, and they will be marked for you. You'll have a little icon on the map that you can go to that kind of shows the general area that they're in. And then they will also, or you will also be marked for them. So it's like you guys have a bounty on each other at exactly the same time. They're marked for you, you're marked for them, and then you guys are supposed to go fight. And if you eliminate them, you will increase your rivalry rank, and then you will also get some tokens. And these tokens will allow you to purchase special exotics at the rivalry computers. And then you can also use these tokens to upgrade your weapon. So it's like an upgrade bench and an exotic vendor all in one at the rivalry computers. And you can also get a new rivalry on enemies at the computers. And there are little bounties, I guess, around the map that get dropped when a player who had a rivalry gets eliminated, that you can pick up to get a rivalry as well. So these are going to be important to do. That way you can increase your rank as much as possible. And some of these exotics are the exotics from Chapter 6 Season 2. So like the Shockwave rocket launcher is back. There's a Mammoth pistol. There's others that I can't remember off the top of my head right this second. So you're going to want to do the rivalries to get the rank up so you can purchase those special items, upgrade your weapons, and find other players in the lobby to eliminate and get them out of the game. There are several new POIs or map changes. Lots of returning POIs got changes as well, but Dark Dominion has replaced Lethal Labs. Frigid Fortress and an ice biome have replaced Clawsy Lodge and the area around it. Squibbity Shores has replaced Bumpy Bay, and then Classified Canyon has been replaced by the New Sanctuary, which is a 7 POI. And as I said, there's several other minor map changes around as well. The balloons are gone, and the balloon stations are gone and been replaced with other things, but those are the main kind of named POI changes. One mechanic that was added this season that I don't really think is the biggest deal is that each match, one player is going to be driving the battle bus, and so they can kind of choose the route the bus travels. The person who's driving the bus can jump out at any time. It's not like you're locked into doing this until like the end of the bus path. It just travels straight once they jump out. And there are supply drops in air that you can kind of run over to spawn that drop on the map. But I don't think that's really that big of a deal, because it's going to be really difficult for you to try to land on that drop or get it before other people. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that. But if you do have the ability to drive the bus, that may or may not be something you want to take advantage of. And when it comes to you landing where you want to land, you might need to pay attention to how the person who's driving is driving, and then maybe change up your drop because of that. Like if you wanted to jump at one POI and they start going the other direction, you might want to jump earlier than you anticipated. That way you are at least closer than you would be later on. We have several new mythics in the loot pool. The Ice King at the Frigid Fortress POI doesn't drop a mythic at the moment, but he likely will later on. Dark Voyager drops the new Mythic Chaos Shotgun, and the Squid at Squibbity Shores drops the Mythic Combat AR, and this Combat AR actually shoots faster as you fire the weapon. And another major thing this season is going to be the factions. Before you ready up, you can choose to be on the Foundation or the Ice King side. And the side you pick will start to level up as you do rivalries. So this is something that the entire community is participating in. As you do rivalries, you'll contribute to leveling up your faction. And as the faction levels up, you will unlock new items in the BR loot pool. And these will just be added for everybody. I don't think it's going to be like you need to be the right faction to get the items. I think it just like basically as a community, we can like just help certain items get added sooner if you're choosing to be on that faction. So one item is going to be the 7 gloves, which are like a reskin of the Nitro Fists from Chapter 5 Season 3. A lot of people wanted this in the loot pool because it's going to be a good mobility item once it's added. It's not currently in the game, but as the Foundation side continues to do rivalries, eventually it will get added to the loot pool if the community does enough of those rivalries. And you can go into the Showdown page and just kind of check the progress on all this stuff and see what items will be coming to the game over the course of the season by the community doing rivalries. And that's going to be kind of it for the main changes this season. The rivalry system is huge. I know a lot of people are going to struggle with it because it sends somebody to hunt you, but doing those rivalries is really going to help you out. And we do have a mostly new loot pool. I saw a lot of confusion about this today because, you know, Ted Timmons said we would be getting a mostly new loot pool, and the Iron Pump and the Twin Hammers are still here. And I think even with that being true, we still have a mostly new loot pool with the new ARs, the new SMGs, new DMR, a new shotgun, a new pistol, new mobility items. There was a lot of changes to the loot pool with this update. Also, Brutus Mythic twin hammer shotguns. Brutus is no longer on the map, but you can get these by lifting the weight at Ripped Tides. I don't think it gives a Mythic Iron Pump anymore, but you can get the Mythic twin hammer shotguns this way. But that is going to be it for this video. Just a quick overview of the changes. Obviously, I'll have more content in the coming days going more in depth with things. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.